On Team Talks, Ruben Amorim is very much in charge of Manchester United, and then that all changed very quickly. Michael Carrick's at the wheel. How do Man United fans feel?
Honestly, I was just saying to Miguel before, I feel really disappointed at where the football club has gone. I'll back Michael Carrick, Steve Holland, Jonathan Woodgate coming in. I'll back anyone that's in charge of Manchester United. But I think, I've said it many times, it doesn't matter who is in charge. It is such a difficult job. The outside noise from the media, people talk about Ruben playing a back three. Darren Fletcher comes in, he's a good mate of mine. I love the guy. Plays a back four. How did that work out? If you don't have the players that can fit the system a coach is trying to play, and fundamentally, the signings and the players have not been good enough for far too long now. So, for me, there's not really much pressure on Michael Carrick because the expectations for Manchester United, I can't speak for every Man United fan, but the problems for me are the people above at Manchester United. It's not the players necessarily, it's not the ownership, it's not the manager, it's the ownership and the decisions that have been made. And when Ineos came in and Omar Barada and Jason Wilcox, I felt really optimistic. But now, I don't.
Well, Michael Carrick is going to be in charge, and his first game is going to be the Manchester derby. He's the 8th different manager post Sir Alex Ferguson to be taking charge of United in a Manchester derby. What a game to be starting with.
Yeah, I mean, it couldn't come bigger, really, could it? Maybe other than a game against Liverpool, given the rivalry. I have to say, I mean, obviously, Carrick this week beat out his old teammate Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Actually, did they play together? They did, actually, for a season. And that apparently came down to, I suppose, as much prospects for the future as kind of current reputation. But in relation to kind of this fixture, it's hard not to feel maybe they should have just brought in Solskjaer for one game, given he actually has an incredible record against City.
Like I said to you, don't be surprised we'll get an announcement tonight. Man United probably will.
No, I mean, I do have to say, I think it makes much more sense to go with Carrick for the medium term. I mean, one of the things I heard was, obviously this is going to have no impact on the permanent successor in the summer. But they are thinking that if we get the right interim now, maybe it can be a figure close to the club who can be trained up potentially to take the job in the future. Yeah. And obviously with Solskjaer, I suppose, I mean, we know they're not going to go back there, really. That story's been done a little bit. So it would have felt a little bit of a backward step, perhaps. And that's no real comment on Solskjaer. Whereas Carrick at least gives maybe, it's a different feel. And he is a bright young coach. I mean, okay, he had an encouraging stint at Middlesbrough, even if it didn't end all that encouragingly. But there's promise there. I think it's really going to be interesting to see how he does over the next few months, and starting with this game tomorrow, particularly how he sets up.
You also make a very good point about the summer, because there could potentially, especially after a World Cup, be a host of top managers available.
But the thing is, though, at this moment in time, which manager really wants to come to Manchester United? Because ideally, I'd love someone like Ancelotti, right? But in a dream world, that would be my best case scenario. But you look at this club, and I was really optimistic. I thought Ruben Amorim was going to be the man that was going to turn us around. But you need quality players. Now, we've brought in Cunha and Buemo. I think Buemo's been a fantastic signing. But other than that, I don't think Cunha's been anywhere near the levels we expected him to be at. So Thomas Tuchel could be available after the World Cup. Mauricio Pochettino could be available. But I just think, you look at the way, this is a whole other story in itself, but Real Madrid, Xabi Alonso goes, Arbeloa goes straight in there. Manchester United are thinking on their feet, aren't they? There's no real plan in place.
Well, that's it. And I suppose one of the things, had they got Solskjaer in particular, it would have just, that's where they were 5-6 years ago. When obviously, as you say, Sir Jim Ratcliffe buying the kind of minority stake was supposed to signal a new future. It seems like they keep taking backward steps. Now, I've been, obviously, as a journalist, been kind of writing on this the past 2 weeks, talking to people around the club. There is an interesting one there. Like you were mentioning about Ancelotti. And from speaking to someone at United, they were saying, as promising as they know that Amorim was as a coach, and let's not forget, before he joined United, everyone in Europe was looking at him, from Liverpool to Barcelona. But what was put to me is, with a club like United, or of that size, you don't really know how they're going to respond until they're in the door. And now there's maybe a little bit of a feeling that for all Amorim's promise, he just maybe wasn't quite ready for a job of that magnitude, as we could see in some of the decisions. Also, one thing that has been stressed to me a lot, but only time will tell on this, is that the club feels the structure around the manager is completely different now than it was in October 2024. They feel they've got more of a structure. They've made big appointments. And on recruitment as well, they're talking about how we won't see the effects in this for a little while yet, but they feel they've got a recruitment structure much more data-led, something like the way the best-run clubs do it in that regard.
You're giving me hope, Miguel, but I think the way that Manchester United has been run in recent years, the recruitment has been abysmal.
I do think, regardless of the structure, a club like United does actually need someone that can carry the weight of what it is. And that's why I suppose you are talking about coaches then like Tuchel. But if they go for Tuchel, I mean, he obviously wants to be in the World Cup till the 19th of July. That's quite late in the summer.
Yeah, fair enough. Good point. I want to go back to another point you made, which is also very interesting. What will we see in terms of setup in the Manchester derby from Carrick? What do you think he'll change immediately? What's your feeling about what he can change immediately?
Well, we know his system he likes to play, but I think fundamentally he knows the heart and desire.
As well as that, I'm eager to succeed. You know, we've got a big job to do. It's an important job, and it always is here to win games and to play well and to do it in a certain way. So there's one side of it is nice to be here, but the other side of it is focus, concentration, and a real drive to improve the team and improve results.
When you don't have any info, don't give info to the players and focus on yourself. So this, maybe with a lineup tomorrow you have an idea. You can have, you know, some idea what Middlesbrough has done, or when Michael was in few games, was his first part as a manager in Man United, but you know, tactics is about the players, and the players that you have United tomorrow is completely different was in Middlesbrough. So make analogy to say what are you suggest going to do.
They've had a couple of major injuries this season in terms of the back four as well, and Rodri. So let's see. I want United to win tomorrow. As simple as that.
Of course, yeah. Of course.
And I don't want to. You have to be.
It'd be weird if you said anything else.
I have to be respectful towards City, of course.
Yeah.
They have a fantastic team, an amazing manager, one of the greatest managers ever. But after tomorrow,
Rob, do you think they've seen gettable? Let's say there's been City teams of past where it's like it's obliteration. This year there seems to be a little bit of difference.
You're looking at the games, how they manage the games, and that was a wonderful ability in the years gone by, isn't it? That you just didn't see a way back into games when they bored everyone to win the Champions League and stuff. They just controlled the games. You play against teams like that, you go, I haven't got an answer here. I don't know how to get out of this hole against them. And whether you could do that or not was another matter. But with this team, you say, well, hold on a minute. We stay in there. We stay in the fight. We just grind it out. And whereas they'd be 2-3-0 up and bringing on the subs for the next game, managing the game, it's not like that now. It's just still a scrap. It's still a fight in the last 5-10 minutes, and they seem to blow themselves out a bit. So it's very much a different side. Do you think?
Sorry.
Go ahead.
No, the Brighton game was interesting. I've never seen City being so vulnerable for such a long time. And Brighton they're very good manager, very good team, and Brighton kind of gives you a little glimpse of what they're capable of doing. If it's so open, they play through City, and it's the first time I've seen a team play against City the City way, the Pep style, playing total football. And if United can do that in terms of maintaining that and be disciplined in terms of defending, going forward, you know United will always create chances, but you got to make sure you're ruthless in your defence. If you're not, you can get punished.
Yeah, I mean, teams have been getting punished with Erling Haaland, but one of the other top goal scorers in the league was Antoine Semenyo. That was for Bournemouth. Now he's going to be wearing a City shirt against United tomorrow. When you look at the Semenyo signing, I mean, look at this. I mean, Pep was very keen to say that he'd scored 3 goals in his City career thus far, even though obviously 2 only stood. When you look at this, Quinton, is this an inspired move, or... I mean, I don't want to say is it throwing money at the problem, but, you know, they did have an issue where all the goals were only coming through Haaland.
This guy can score goals. This guy can create goals. You know, when you look at the play, you think, okay, what is it like from this? His manager, after his last game, I think he scored the winning goal. His manager, it just sums up what they thought about him. His manager said, as a human being, first of all, he's amazing. That's what, as a coach, as a manager, you want to hear that, thinking, okay, what's the player like? His manager said, as a human being, he was amazing. As a player, fantastic. For me, boom. That's the first thing you want to hear as a manager. But as a player, oh my! I wish I was wearing a red jersey. Yeah. Honestly, that's one of the truth. I wish he was on the red side. But what a player! Can go left and right. You saw the goal at Old Trafford. He scored against United. Explosive 1v1. Can create chances. And at top, he's a good guy.
Yeah.
It's a no-brainer.
The dangerous thing as well is that he started his kind of Manchester City career. Obviously, they played against Exeter. He started on the left. Then he played against Newcastle. He was playing on the right with Doku on the other side. I mean, now there's no excuse, I guess, for City to start banging in those goals from other places, right, Rob?
Well, you're looking at him thinking, how do we utilise him? And however you want. It's a wonderful tool for Pep to have. And you're thinking, Doku plays better when people are up close to him, someone to bounce off and some to create different passes, different angles. You can leave him on his own, and he'll do something for you. Yeah. And whether it's direct or coming inside, he does it at different stages up the pitch. When he goes really high, he says, right, I'm going to go out there on the outside.